Oh, we are back. Roster rescue the Wednesday after the NFL draft. I still do not have a stand. I am still holding the microphone, and my name is Garrett Price. Over here, we got Rich Dotson. Rich, how you doing, buddy?
Not too bad for a Wednesday.
Not too bad. Not too shabby. Pete, what about you, my guy?
Doing okay. I thought there was 31 days in April. So my tags expire into April, so I had to switch up my whole day because I found out today that there's only 30 days in April. So
wait, so what expired today?
My car tags.
Oh, yeah, got to get on that.
Here's the thing to remember: it's every other month is 31 days besides July and August.
There you go.
Oh. In Ohio, do you guys have to take your car in for inspections?
No.
Every year?
Well, it depends on the county. Depends on the county.
So stupid.
In my county, we have it every other year. You have to take it in for an e-check. They're trying to pass a law here to get rid of it, and I hope they do because it's ridiculous. It really is.
In my county, we do not have to, fortunately.
Yeah, the people out there treat me like a cow. You know, they're just out here milking me for everything I got. And meanwhile, I'm a bull. So they're not even getting milk. Surprise.
Yikes. Robert, do you have an issue with me? Do you want to fight?
I like it. Robert. Pete looks like he's trying to disguise with the notes and glasses.
I got it from my dad, apparently.
He's not the same one that said you look like that's the same guy?
Yeah.
Oh, Rich, you weren't here for this show. Rich said, or Robert said that Pete looks like the offspring of me and my cousin.
Oh, okay. Well, Rob, he obviously
he does not think very highly of you, Pete.
Yeah. I guess you and him are not making sweet whoopee, Peter. Sorry.
Well, maybe is your cousin handsome or good looking?
Pete, you're married, right? Sure. Pete, you're married. Don't concern yourselves with those of the others. I don't. I know I'm ugly. That's why I love my wife so much.
You gotta lock them down quick. Lock them down before they wise up.
Yeah, come on, baby. Come on, baby. Love me.
Denise is 80% blind in one eye and 100% in the other. So it worked out great for me.
My wife used to think I was funny. Those days have long passed.
All right. Well, I know Jack. Jack won a contest today. Jack is one of our faithful Nerd Herd members. He won a free roster rescue today. That's a perk of joining the Nerd Herd. There's so many perks of joining the Nerd Herd. But one of them is like sometimes we just give away free roster rescue because we like to say thank you to the Nerd Herd. Others,
check out that new rookie app. That's free for the Nerd Herd. It's pretty dope. It's a new thing, new little web app on there to help you do in your rookie drafts.
Rookie app. You've got the Nerd Score and now Nerd Score Plus on there. Extra episodes. I mean, the film room. If you're trying to decide like which running back do I like better, watch a couple games, and then you'll decide which one you like better. So lots of opportunities there. Joining the Nerd Herd. And Pete, on the show, we give them a percentage off too, right? You use promo code. Yep. What is it? Roster? What is it?
Roster Rescue. I'm about to put it on the bottom of the screen.
Yeah,
right here.
Get 15% off right now. Bada bing, bada boom. Done and done. There you go. 15%. All right, Pete. What are we doing first today? We got Jax. Are we doing? I say trades?
So while we wait for Jack to email me, which Jack, please email me very fast, as soon as you can. Let's answer some trade questions.
All right. We'll start with trades. If you want your roster rescued, we have spots available today. There are days where we get on here right away and we're like, there are no spots available. Try next show. We've got spots available today. And I know your rookie drafts are probably going right now or starting up within the next week or two. So go ahead and scan the QR code right up there in the upper right-hand corner. Scan that. That will get you to a roster rescue.
Hold on. Before going out, you want to hear about a trade I made just a minute yesterday?
Heck yeah, I do.
And that, it kind of goes back to the theory of like when you're playing Dynasty, like you just take the best player available and figure it out. So I was in I'm in a Dynasty Nerd Superflex, the very first Superflex league I've ever
joined.
You know, it's me and Matt in there. We were like, you know what, guys, we'll try. Everybody's talking about Superflex. So this league's super old. You know, like ask me and Matt, try it out. You know, no tight end premium, and we had a dispersal. And like, I know we have a dispersal. If my team's just okay, you know, or it's kind of good. Like, I always just join them because it's fun. Like, it's like a new way to draft. And I built this team super old. And I sacrificed having a second quarterback, so I had to pick 1, 3, and 110. But I don't have my first next year. I have 227 first, so you know. And my team so my starting lineup was Baker Mayfield, Christian McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley, Garrett Wilson, Stephon Diggs, Calvin Ridley, Dallas Goedert, and then I have no second quarterback. I Kirk Cousins, assuming he would go to the Browns. That backfired. And then my other flex spot was Amari Cooper. And then that was like it, right? The rest of my team is pretty low budget. So with the 1-3, the guy ahead of me took Cam Ward because he knew I was going to take Cam Ward because I have a second quarterback. So I got Marvin Hampton, which I feel pretty good about. And I let you know, I went with the strategy of like, okay, I'm going to trade Saquon Barkley and Christian McCaffrey in season, right? Like I understand.
Okay.
Then yesterday I had 110. So like I went into the draft going, hey man, like I'm gonna just draft Jackson Dart. Easy peasy. You know, my Stephon Diggs, Calvin Ridley, Garrett Wilson, that's good enough for this year. Yeah. I got Saquon, Christian McCaffrey. I throw Marvin Hampton into my one flex spot where I have Amari Cooper and I start Jackson Dart. Good enough for me, right? That being said, at 1-8, for some reason, Tet McMillan was still on the board at 1-8.
Oh wow.
So I was like, oh, well, looky there. You know, like I have a Marvin Hampton. So I traded 110 and I traded my 26 second for 1-8 and I took Tet McMillan.
That was all you had to give was your 26 second?
Yeah, that's all I had to give.
Nice.
And I also had 2-3 and I was just on the clock. I tried to move back again offer. I took Matthew Golden. So now my receiving core is Tet McMillan, Matthew Golden, Garrett Wilson, and I have Stephon Diggs and Calvin Ridley. But I still do not have my second quarterback, which is going to slide in for Matthew Golden. So, you know, but I'm a big believer. It's like I saw value on the board of Tet McMillan.
Best player available.
The plan was to take Jackson Dart to fill up my roster, but I figure with 227 seconds, like I can get my second quarterback then and ride out to 25. And I'm sure Saquon and Christian McCaffrey will give me back what I need to. I think Calvin Ridley will give me something nice later in the season as well, like at least with a package deal. Definitely like to a contender when Calvin Ridley's doing well and I package him and Christian McCaffrey together. So what is your thought press on that? Because I know like I don't and I know where you actually I'm just asking this for the audience because I know
because you know.
Right, like a big believer in just like in these rookie drafts when you have a chance to grab talent, you do that. So I got a top 10 NFL draft pick at 1-8, sacrifice Jackson Dart later on, but now I feel like my team overall from a talent standpoint is significantly better.
Absolutely. So, it's a great move.
So I did get the email. Let's if you're fine with moving on, except we're not doing Jack's roster right now because we have a
nuke time.
Thanks for letting us answer the question, Peter.
It was your question.
That's getting Garrett's take on it. That's all.
We were 10 minutes in.
Oh, I didn't know. Okay.
So it's like a normal podcast, you mean?
Yeah. Jam-packed show. Gotta cram these in there. But we got a roster.
It's starting to get jam-packed, so let's
people start scanning, but long story short, yes.
Diddy's diddlers.
All right. So here we got, this is a super flex tight end premium league here. We have Pat Mahomes, Bo Nix, Russell Wilson as our starting quarterbacks. We have Saquon Barkley, Bucky Irving, Chase Brown, and then that's really it. Maybe Miles Sanders has some value. We'll see. Romo Dunze, Jaden Reed, Jerry Jeudy, Wan'Dale Robinson. And then at tight end, we have Trey McBride and Dallas Goedert. We have the 105, 110, 25, 210, and we have all of our future draft assets. So in dynasty mode, we are the 3rd ranked team, but in contender mode, we are also number 3. So we are pretty consistent across the board. Real quick before we get into it, I would like to see the number 1 team, because in contender mode, this team is looking really pretty beastly.
In contender mode, correct?
Yep, keep it in contender mode. Kyler, Caleb, Darnold, Cousins, Carr. Wow. Achane, Henry, Taylor, Brees, Dobbins. Okay, pretty good running back room there. Justin Jefferson, Puka Nacua, Stephon Diggs, Josh Downs.
Beatable.
Nothing at tight end.
And that's 112. Yeah, this is a very beatable team for number 1.
It is a beatable team. Really good running back room.
But that's totally fine with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because they don't have a lot of depth at wide receiver. They basically have 2 guys you feel real good about. One guy that is a solid like sub in Diggs, and then after that, it kind of falls off. Yeah. So let's go back to our team. So Rich, we are right on the cusp right now of kind of being one of those top tier teams. We have a pretty strong running back room, especially with Chase Brown kind of surviving the draft. You know, they didn't get a lot of draft capital added there. It was Taj Brooks in the 6th round.
Yeah.
So with that being said, it looks like our wide receiver room is probably our biggest concern. I would say
it's a massive concern if you really want to try and win this year.
So what are we doing to address this, Rich?
So your bet, I know in contender mode it says Jaden Reed is your number 1 guy. I would disagree. I would say Jerry Jeudy is your number 1 receiver here. He was a wide receiver 1 last year. With the addition of Matthew Golden, Jaden Reed status, could it be par for the course still, like a high end wide receiver 3?
And for what it's worth, my guess is that will flip in very short order here. That was with the assumption Travis Hunter was going to the Browns. So I think that was why.
Okay, that makes sense. Get on there, update those. And then Rome Odunze, obviously a massive question mark on how he's going to produce in this offense. And 2 big question marks. How are these targets going to go about with so many weapons to consume them, right? Definitely in a Ben Johnson offense where he's not afraid to throw to the running back. DeAndre Swift is there. DeAndre Swift is another winner there of the draft. I do expect, if you had to ask me where Nick Chubb is going to be playing week 1 NFL kickoff season, I would guess it is the Chicago Bears, if you ask me. Which again, it could kind of change the dynamic of the team. So my question around the gate, Garrett, I think you're in the same boat, is how do we fix this receiving core? Now, he has pick 1-5, and my assumption is, since we're trying to win, I feel like the best player available at 1-5 is going to be a running back.
Probably.
So my first thing that comes to my mind is, how do we flip Chase Brown for a receiver, like a proven receiver? And we flip Chase Brown, and then we replace him with like Travion Henderson, right? That's what we're going to replace him with. Is my plan, at least, because I don't love do we want Ted McMillan there at 5? Sure, it's nice, but we don't know how Ted's going to produce year 1. And you're already young at receiver, right? Like, you already have the upside. So you want the upside of Ted McMillan in Carolina? No. Travis Hunter would be interested. I would settle for if he's there. If Travis Hunter is even there at 5, it's going to be kind of hard to tell. So my direct path here, Garrett, in contender mode is, who needs a running back? Obviously, it's not team 1, and who's got those receivers to pay?
12 do have
team 5 is in team 4 is in desperate. No, team 5 needs a running back.
Yep, team 5 desperately needs a running back, and team 11 and 12 have a lot of older receivers that maybe we can draft pick magic with our second.
Yeah, because Chase Brown's young too. So, okay,
this team. All right, they're gonna add Ashton Genty.
Okay,
so they're not in too bad of spot. But yeah, they could definitely still use another guy, because I don't think they would want to be trusting Brian Robinson or Jalen Warren as their RB2.
Okay, first thing, can you go back down to receivers, please, Pete?
They have a lot of good receivers.
Yeah, right out the gate, will it work? It might. Would you be willing to offer Chase Brown and 110 for Drake London?
All day and twice on Sunday. If that could get it done, I would love that. It might be a squeeze, but I would definitely offer it.
Yeah, this guy's got the 1-1. He's Ashton Genty. He's like, dude, I got Genty, Chase Brown, and here. Like, I got, and then at 110, he's like, I could probably take a receiver there. You know what I mean? Or fill up his tight end. That might be enough. The way, because again, I know I value Chase Brown less than most of the community.
Sure.
So I think somebody get real excited about that. I would love to be able to offer 110, which you're giving up. I mean, what are you giving up there? You're giving up Jackson Dart, RJ Harvey, Emeka Ibuka, somewhere like in that range. I'm sure Matthew Golden's going in that range for some time. Tyler Warren, Colston Loveland. So I have no problem giving up one of those guys in Chase Brown for Drake London, if that can get it done. That's my first offer that I'm offering.
And even if I have to add in a second, because we have a couple second round picks to like seal the deal, I'd be willing to do that.
Yeah, I would start with a third. Like, hey, here's my third, like 3-5. Here's 3-5, 110, Chase Brown for Drake London. And that would give him 1-1 and 110. And he's getting Chase Brown. So he would probably, I would imagine that team, like, if I like Chase Brown, like, I would feel like, oh, that's not a bad offer. I wouldn't accept it for Drake London because I'm a big Drake London stan. But sure. I mean, I don't think it's like insulting in the least bit. I think it's somewhat fair.
Yeah.
Only on the basis of Chase Brown being valued, which I don't. So to me, it seems like a landslide Drake London.
Let's go over to teams 11 and 12 there. Because it seems like they have some receivers there that might tickle our fancy. Yeah, this is the perfect team to deal with.
It is.
Oh, love this. Any one of those top 5 receivers, if any of them are available, I'm interested, especially the top 4. Any one of those guys, Devontae Adams, would love to get him on our team. Either one of the Tampa Bay receivers. And what do we have in the second round again, Pete? We have 2-5 and 2-10. Yeah. So I think 2-5 could easily get us a Cooper Kupp type guy.
No, I don't want to go that route. Nah, it's too much risk.
I'd rather go Devontae Adams.
I'm not even offering 2-5. I'm offering 2-10 for Adams. This team's bad.
I don't think that'll get it done. I think they're going to want 2-5. I
would offer him 2-10 and 3-5. Offer him 2-10 and 3-5 for Devontae Adams.
Yeah, no, I would if that gets it done, absolutely. But those are the moves I'm looking at, and I'm also using next year's draft capital if I need to, because this team has the assets that we need in order to, because they're going to be interested in picks. That's what they're looking at. They're not winning it this year.
I think this team thinks that they're a contender because they have CMC.
They might,
and then they have 103, 102.
Who's their tight end?
Then George Kittle.
Yeah,
no, they might think they're a contender.
So why is this team so low in contender mode, dude?
Because of their quarterbacks, and they have no running backs.
So he's probably going to draft Cam Ward,
one quarterback,
and then a running back.
It does. It makes it super hard to win.
And then Scattaboo or something.
They have a lot of picks. 2-7, 2-2. I think adding that Arsenal and offloading one of their old running backs, like receivers. I don't think it's a bad off. 2-5, man. Listen, at 2-5, like I'm getting Jaden Higgins. I'm getting Jack Besh. And like, I don't know.
But if I think I can win, I'd rather Devontae Adams.
Yeah, I would. I would too. But like with how big of a question mark he has, like that's a big give for like a 1-year rental for the most part. I mean, listen, Devontae Adams, I love him. I think he has a really good chance to be a wide receiver 1, but he's going to be one of the first receivers, Garrett, that we see that can kind of like be like no matter what we see, even with like all-time greats like Julio Jones, like these guys can't get it done past 31, like at a high level. Devontae Adams is going to be 32 years old. So do I believe he's going to get it done? I absolutely do from what I saw last year. But at the same time, like I am kind of projecting here a little bit because we're seeing like tight, like quarterbacks play longer, running backs play a little longer. We're looking we're looking at like something like it's as a 1-year wonder because like can he if he does it this year, can he do it at 33? You know what I mean? Like
sure.
Kind of
who does team 12 have? If we think this team might be a little less apt to sell.
Yeah.
Who does this team have? Okay, so they've got a lot of young receivers, which is nice. They're just going to be much more difficult to get.
Yeah.
No picks, though.
No picks.
Ooh.
Go back up. Oh, seems bad.
Rich, would you rather, and I'm thinking out loud here, would you rather draft Travion at 1.5 for this team?
Nope.
Or trade it straight up for Lad McConkey?
You read my mind. I would just I would trade 1.5 for any of those receivers outside of T. Higgins.
I think I would too. And I'd be willing to trade 110 if it comes down to that. I would trade 110 for T. Higgins straight up.
Yeah, I would do 110 for T. Higgins. I'd be okay with that if I needed to be. Just T. Higgins put me over the edge that I want to get over. I'm not 100% sure, but at least he's probably going to be more.
Well, with 1.5, if you kept 1.5 and drafted Travion, and then you got T. Higgins at 110.
You got Chase Brown as a bait. I mean, yeah, I think we gave those are 3 solid options, but I would give 1.5 for Lad McConkey straight up. I would offer this team again. Who knows? Because some people would be down on Marv. I would offer 1.5 and 2.5 for Marv Harrison.
See if it works. I mean, if it does, you take that to the bank.
Yeah. And listen, the fact that he has no receivers, like I would offer 1.5, 110 for CeeDee Lamb. Maybe it gets it done. I mean, I've seen crazier things.
A shot.
You know what I mean? 2 firsts there for CeeDee Lamb. I would offer that as well. So like he does have 3 different options you can go. Like,
yeah, there's 3 good teams to trade with. See what fits, because any one of those can put you in a contender window.
I think I would, if it would work in order, I'd still prefer that if I can get Chase Brown and Drake London for Chase Brown and 110 for Drake London. I think I'd prefer that because it gives me a 23-year-old, receiver who was a really good wide receiver 1 when Michael Penix took the snaps behind center. So I would start there because then that gives me Trevion Henderson, 2 good running backs, and 4 good young receivers, right? And I give them 110, but I have 2.5, and then 2.5, you're still bringing in either a Cam Scattaboo or preferably like Jack Bash or Jaden Higgins. Maybe a Matthew Golden fall there. I've seen him fall that late in some drafts. So that 2.5 is really going to give you another option. And at 2.10, you're probably getting a decent tight end there. Because even though these tight ends have got really draft pedigree, they're still slipping in my tight end premium leagues. Like I'm getting really good value at the top of the 3rd, back end of the 2nd. I see Mason Taylor there at the back end of a lot of seconds, which is nuts to me. Elijah Arroyo is there in tight end premiums. These guys have 2nd-round draft capital on teams that need weapons, right? The Jets need weapons. The Seahawks need weapons. Cooper Kupp is not a long-term answer in Seattle. So, yeah, I mean, I think he's set up for like 3 really good offers. And, I would assume one of those would work or at least open the door to navigate a deal. Because, I think we're on the same page here. His biggest hump he needs to get over is that receiver position. Now, could those receivers all pan out, right, and be really good? They could, but 1, you have no depth there, and 2, the odds of that happening are pretty slim, right? When you have like 3 gambles, and you're like, oh, I need all 3 of these to hit. Like, could it hit? For sure. Likely? Probably not. And if one of those guys doesn't hit, your chances of contending are out the window. You know what I mean? Or like window, or like really slim, to say the least.
Real quick, I think most of our trades involved draft picks, but let's just do a quick mock in case trades don't go through. That happens sometimes.
We always mock on nukes. Always.
That's right. Got to mock it up. All right. So it went Ashton Genty, Travis Hunter, Omarion Hampton, Cam Ward. Makes perfect sense. That's kind of, seems to be a consensus tier there. That leaves Travion Henderson for us. For me, that's a pretty easy smash. It's Travion every time. Is that the same for you?
Yeah, easy.
Okay. So then after that is where it gets pretty interesting. Who went, Pete? Can you scroll up for a second? I want to see all the guys that just went. Tet McMillan, Colston Loveland, Emeka Ibuka, and Tyler Warren. So the 2 receivers and the 2 tight ends kind of at the top. However, Quinshon Judkins got skipped. Now, this is a tough spot for us. I would not like this. In real life. Like normally in this scenario, I'm thrilled because I think that's value that just got pushed down to me. I'm getting Quinshon there. But the one thing this team needs is wide receivers so bad.
Yeah, there's no way that. I mean, I cannot imagine it happened from what I've seen. Because if it is, you just smashed Quinshon Judkins there,
and then
you're
you
going to
trade him for a receiver.
Yeah, in season. Well, yeah, or I'm still trying to chase Brown. I'm keeping Quinshon Judkins. I'm not trading Quinshon. I'm trying to chase Brown still.
Well, I mean, if that's the case, now you're sitting there with Travion Henderson, Quinshon Judkins, and who are our other two running backs? We had two other good running backs other than Chase Brown. I'm blank. Saquon and Bucky.
Saquon and Bucky.
So like that's a stable of backs.
Yeah, it's going to be really sexy. So go back. Yeah. So here, if I'm on the board here, yeah, I'm smashing Quinshon Judkins. But let's say, because that's an easy smash. Can we agree on that, Garrett? That's an easy smash.
Totally agree.
Let's say that Quinshon went at 1.8 and then Emeka went at 1.9. Tyler Warren's sitting there. We're good at tight end. What are we looking at doing? Because obviously this is simple. I guarantee if we remock this right now, that Quinshon probably wouldn't even be there.
Yep. It's meant to have variance, and there's going to be, one out of every 80 leagues end up like this.
And listen, I'm in a shitload of drafts right now, or rookie drafts, a lot. And the variance, you're right. Once you get past even that, like I've seen Quinshon go ahead of Trevion. I've seen Quinshon go as high as 1.4. I've seen Travis Hunter slip to 1.6. I've seen RJ Harvey slip to the third pick in the second round. You know what I mean? Like there is a lot of variance here. The only thing that's certain right now is Ashton Genty, the 1.1. And in one league, Cam Ward went 1.1 in one league. In a super flex.
Really?
Yeah, the guy had no quarterbacks at all. So he took Cam Ward. I would have done it. Shout out Jason. Nerd member. Yeah, he took Cam Ward. The only thing I saw that going. So there's a lot of variance here. So of course, could this happen? Yeah, somebody's like, dude, I don't know how he's going to work with Dylan Sampson. I need a tight end. It's tight end premium. Maybe it's 2 points per tight end. So,
all right. So let's take Quinshon for now, though.
But like, if it was Tyler Warren there, like, what are we doing? Just for example, I mean, let's give him he nuked it. So let's give him hey, if Quinshon's not there, obviously if Emeka Buka is there, we're taking Emeka.
You just keep taking the best available player.
Yeah.
I think our best scenarios are trading the 110, like we kind of talked about early.
Yeah, for a receiver.
But yeah, your team is good enough. Just take the best guy on your board at that point. So even if it's Jackson Dart.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Can you scroll down a little bit on available players, Peter, just real quick? Yeah, dude. Unfortunately for you, the best player availables are Jackson Dart and running backs. Because Caleb Johnson, RJ Harvey there. Yeah, man. And listen, I love Tyler Warren, but at the same time, I'm a big these instant gratification running backs can get you Tyler Warren back plus, right? They're going to get you a tight end plus. So unless he's looking like Sam Laporta, which is again outliers. I'm not relying on outliers. I hate when people try to compare people to, Sam Laporta did this, Justin Jefferson did this. Dude, stop pointing to the absolute best case scenario. That's not the most common result. Right. But what is the most common result is these running backs in the ground running and the thirstiness of the running back need and what you can get back when these guys are putting up 17 points per game. I love Mike Tomlin's press conference talking about Caleb Johnson, the way they talked him up and his ability. That's a really good land spot with a third round pedigree. He's probably going to be the starter in Pittsburgh. RJ Harvey, I know we're going to do a show on it this Tuesday. He's going to be the starter in Denver. It does not matter what the stats tell us there. So it's going to be I'm in this situation. He's probably taking running back and kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier when I took Ted McMillan, even though I had no quarterbacs.
Just take the best guy,
the best player.
Figure it out.
It's going to be running back, and if not, the only other option is going to be Jackson Dart, which you can't go wrong. But again,
it wouldn't be a bad pick at all.
The thing is, I think even those running backs like Quinshon, Caleb Johnson, and Harvey could bring you back a quarterback. Easily Jackson Dart, because Jackson Dart's not going to hit the ground running, most likely. But so it could bring you back a Jared Goff, a Baker Mayfield, right? A QB1, a true QB1. You might have to give a little bit more on top in some scenarios, depending on the depth of that person's QB room. But that's a good young 21-year-old running back outside of RJ Harvey, who's 24. Dude, that's dynasty gold, man. And look at his own running back, who's a prime example, Bucky Irvin, right? Look at how much he skyrocketed up in value from just literally coming out and producing right away.
So at 110, we're going to just say Quinshon Judkins, best available player, right? Yep. All right.
So looking at how this board fell,
Cam's
are you packaging 205 and 210 to trade up and grab one of these players?
No, because we're now we're so deep at running back, like I might as well be a Tyrannosaurus Rex's birth canal. Like,
and I think, like we talked about first, there's a decent chance you're moving many of these picks. So we're doing this as a worst case scenario because nobody wants to trade you T. Higgins or Devontae Adams or the different players that we talked about. So 2-5 best available here. Probably Besh for me.
That's who I'm taking, Jack Besh.
Okay.
Because I'm hoping Mason Taylor slips to me.
He did not. He just went.
Okay.
Aurorio's still there. Could take him. All right, we're scrolling too far.
Yeah. I know you would take Arroyo. I know we drastically different here. I would take Harold Fannin. I also wouldn't have no problem since the fact that we got Quinshon. I'd have no problem taking Dylan Sampson either here. Because
this is an insurance policy.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know how it's going to play out. Could it turn out to be like a Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery kind of situation where 2 running backs can produce? If not, I had the running back situation on a team that's going to run the ball a ton locked up in Cleveland.
Who's our third quarterback? Do we have a third quarterback?
Russell Wilson.
Okay, so we do have 3. All right. I would not be entirely opposed to just swinging for the fences at 210 and taking Milrow.
Where are you guys drafting Tootin at? Like, I know that we don't need running back.
Right around here.
Is this the range?
Yeah, this is totally fine too. If that's your guy, he's going to offer you more upside. But like again, if I'm sticking to my tape grade, like I'm taking and the fact that I have Quinshon Judkins, I'd have no problem taking Dylan Sampson here. I have no problem taking Milrow here. I have no problem taking Arroyo here. I have no problem taking Harold Fannin here. So
we got a lot of options.
Yeah, and having 3-5, who slipped? Like, there's a lot of guys that slip to us there as well. But like,
I would even be open. Like, if we have that many guys that were like, I would take him. I would take him. I would take him. Like, if somebody really loves 210 and like say, hey, give me your second next year, and a 3rd round pick, and you can have this one. Like, I would have no problem trying to capitalize on this if I can move back to 3-2 and pick up a 2nd round pick next year. Still get same range of guys we want.
Yeah, but again, let's just go under the pretense that we can't move, right?
So you want Sampson?
What do you think?
I lean toward Milrow personally, like take the upside, but I'm totally fine with Sampson as well.
Yeah, see the thing with Milrow too, though, is like then it's a double gamble. Here's what I feel about it. Is it worth a shot here? Yeah, but what we're looking for here is it's a double gamble of 1. We need Sam Darnold to fail, right? Sure. We need him to fail. He just signed a deal. He's going to get some time. Milrow needs
That's
time.
kind of a good bet, though.
Is it, though? I mean, he was in a bad situation in New York. We saw these people leave New York. He looked really good in Minnesota last year at times. And you're right. It's a good gamble. But, like, that's a gamble we won't even know for, like, probably at least another year or so. And his value for at least another 2 years. So, again, I'm not arguing it. Like, again, I know I'm arguing against it. Like, I'm totally fine with that. It is tight end premium, so I'm totally, again, fine taking Arroyo here. I'm totally fine taking Dylan Sampson. I would personally here, like, what are we in the 3rd round, right?
Almost 210.
Oh, 210. I'll say 3rd rounds. It's really good to throw away that pick if you want to on a good game. Like getting a guy like Dylan Sampson to back up Quinshon Judkins, I feel good about. I know he's the 2nd running back of that team, but I'm going to stick with my tape score.
He was my 7th ranked running back, so I'm with you.
I would just take him.
All right. Dylan Sampson it is. And then quickly at 3-5, let's see who's here. Milrow, Aurora, Royal, Shador, Bashal, Tootin. We got a bunch of guys
I think Shador's still on the.
No, he won't.
Oh, no. Okay. Woody Marks is.
Oh, Woody Marks and Jaden Blue. Both guys that I didn't have like crazy high pre-draft, but both guys land in spots that are very, very exciting with a lot of upside. So it would probably be Jaden Blue here for me, but I'd be fine with Blue or Woody Marks. Do you have a preference between the two, Rich?
Who's younger?
Oh, blue
I
by
believe
like
Jaden
3
Blue
years.
is by quite a bit.
Blue is 21. Marks is 24.
Yeah, I know they give up a 3rd round pick next year for Woody Marks, so they have a clear plan for him. But yeah, go ahead and give me Jaden Blue.
Perfect.
Also, really fast, are you guys drafting Sanders ahead of Gabriel? I'm assuming so, right? If you had to draft one of them.
Sanders over Gabriel, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Cool. On to the
All right,
next
Connor,
one.
thank you so much. Appreciate you, man. Best of luck this year.
Awesome.
All right. What do we got next, Pete?
We got Jack.
Jack, our contest winner here, Jack.
This I love this league name. I thought he didn't send me the league name. And
that is the league name.
It's Dynasty PPR Superflex Titan Premium number 11. And I was like, oh no, I'm gonna have to message him for the league name because I thought that was just the scoring settings.
Nope,
but
that's the league name. That's
it's
fantastic.
The league name.
That is amazing. All right. So right now we've got the 10th ranked team in the Superflex Tight End Premium League. Caleb Williams, our only starting quarterback at the moment. Alvin Kamara, Najee Harris, Aaron Jones, Tank Bigsby at running back. Wide receivers, we've got Marvin Harrison, Michael Pittman Jr., Mike Evans, Romeo Dobbs, and maybe a couple other guys. Sam Laporta, Dalton Kincaid at tight end. And then we have 106, 109, or sorry, 107, 109, and 112, and then nothing else until 309. This team barely missed the playoffs last year. This is draft weekend, and he needs to upgrade and get younger at wide receiver, he says. So how do we go about this? Clearly also needs a quarterback too. Currently the 10th team in Dynasty, 11th ranked team in Contender. So this team has a way to go. Rich, at this point for me, the glaring obvious is this team, despite having some nice names at running back, has almost no chance to compete this year. Yeah. There's just not enough you only have one quarterback. The tight ends are sexy. Oh, they don't have their 26 first. That makes that tough.
Can we go back to those receivers again? I just want to see what we're working with here. Okay. We have a lot of picks.
We do have a lot of picks, but we don't have our first next year. Rich, is that the first thing you're trying to do, is trying to get your first back next year?
1719 112. Running back is our start in. Do we have our 27 first?
We do.
Yeah, we do. Okay. And what's this team in contender mode?
This team is in 11th.
In 11th. Okay. Oh, because he has no second quarterback.
He has no second quarterback, which hurts a lot.
You know what sucks is, like, I value him probably more than others, but Alvin Kamara is it's really good. I mean, he's locked up for New Orleans for the next 2 years. Like, they can't even get rid of him. Like, his deal is like guaranteed for 2 years, and he's just every year he comes out and produces. Like, when it's all said and done, Alvin Kamara is gonna be a haul, like the one of the best fantasy running backs
ever,
if not probably an argument for the best fantasy running back of all time.
He would have a ways to go to still catch LT. At least in the 2020s, or in the 2000s, but yes, he's definitely up there as one of like those elite guys.
So in season value, you have some good. It just sucks because, like, there's something you could do here if you had a second quarterback. You know what I mean? Like, you might be able to like make some moves. So, like, trying to get
your problem is he doesn't even have a second running back really either. At this point, I wouldn't trust on a contender Harris or Jones to be my RB2. Fine with them being my RB3 on a contender, but not as my RB2.
Yeah, but you know what? Like, as my RB3, I'm fine because I know at 1.7 and 1.9, I'm getting like, or those what do we have? 1.7 and 1.9.
1.7 and 1.9.
Yeah, I'm getting a running back there. Like,
you would have to think one of these are dart, right? Like 107 or 109.
I'm thinking
probably
109 start, and I think 112. I'm hoping, and at 112 is going to be Caleb John. So at 1.7, it's either going to be Quinshon Junkins or Tet McMillan. You know what I mean? Probably. Is Junkins? Does Junkins slide in at 8?
He would probably slide in at 107 typically.
I'm trying to think. Is it 8 that you want to really have? Is it 8 that tops it out, or is it 7? I can't remember. I just
let's do our mock real quick. Let's do our mock.
Okay, we'll do the mock. if
Lock
I can
it up.
escape this.
All right, because that's going to be the big thing here is like, yes, getting Quinshon is nice, but even if you're a contender, you're not trusting Quinshon as your RB2 this season, right?
Yeah, I am. Why not?
Oh, Quinshon went 106.
Okay, that's fine.
Well, then who got pushed to
That's
us?
perfect for us. That's dream scenario for this
Tet
team.
McMillan,
That's what you want. Yeah, which I've seen Tet fall this far, easily. Like
this is not unrealistic.
Yeah, this is very best case scenario. Like this is what you're hoping for. You grab Tet McMillan here. This makes me feel way better about my team. All right, then you grab. Yeah, I'm taking Jackson Dart because I need him badly. And then I'm taking either Caleb Johnson or RJ Harvey here.
With how I feel about things, I would rather go with Johnson than Harvey personally.
And I won't argue that. Like that's fine because I know how you feel about things like that. Like I personally would probably take RJ Harvey, but like again, get a 21-year-old running back in Pittsburgh that's gonna give you every opportunity to ground and pound. And what I heard from Mike Tomlin, totally good with taking Caleb Johnson here.
Okay,
totally good.
And
let's go
over Cam. Are you both over Cam now? Caleb over Cam?
Yeah.
Cam Scattaboo.
Yeah.
It's close for me. For me, and this is contrarian. I understand that. Harvey is 3 of the group for me out of those 3 guys. Now,
and listen, I love Cam Scattaboo. I think, and listen, he's 2 spots away from being day 2 draft capital and entering all those.
I think people would look at him a lot different had he gone with the 100 and the 105th.
Exactly, and I love it. I do like. I think one of the big things I love about Cam Scattaboo is his pass catching ability.
Yeah.
And how good Tyrone Tracy looked last year and how well he did as well. And being a former receiver, that could hinder Cam a little bit if they want to use. I don't know how they're going to use him. If they're going to use him just on a first and second down kind of basis for the most part, we don't know. Now, I believe in Cam Scattaboo. He could be in there and be a 3-down running back. But I thought Tyrone Tracy, his vision, him in open field, his pass catching ability looked really good last year. I think the team hopefully saw that as well. So that kind of worries me. Where Caleb, like Jalen Warren, I know he's a hot name and commodity. He has his moments. Like Caleb Johnson, I feel is going to be the guy there in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I agree.
And same as like RJ Harvey's going to be there.
I cannot tell you. So we posted a TikTok, Rich, and you mentioned that Warren's not that guy for the Steelers.
Yep.
So
there's a hive.
Comments. So many comments,
hive.
Man.
Oh, I believe it. I listen, Warren's,
and you weren't even like talking bad about him. It was just like, yeah, Caleb Johnson's.
He's the guy.
Listen,
better.
And listen, you if you want to dig and find stats to support your argument, this is easy to do. Like, oh, Jalen Warren's not a 3-down running back. Listen, I have eyeballs. I've been doing this a long time. I don't think. Here's the thing: if Jalen Warren, okay, guys, for all you stands out there of Jalen Warren, if Jalen Warren was that 3-down running back and was that guy, would the Steelers have invested a 3rd-round pick, a decent 3rd-round pick? They're their 2nd pick in the draft, mind you, who needed a quarterback.
Which is a big note.
And they needed a quarterback on a running back? No, they would not have. And then I also encourage you, go back and again, watch that Mike Tomlin and Omar Khan interview yesterday. And you tell me that Caleb Johnson's not going to be the guy. Jalen Warren is what he is. He's a change of pace running back who does a really good job doing it. And he does it so well, he has fantasy football value. But Jalen Warren is not a championship caliber player. So if you want to collect players that can put up stats and be on the scoreboard, sure, cool. But I'm looking for championship caliber players, and Jalen Warren is not that unless Caleb Johnson gets hurt. If I'm not wrong at the end of the year, cool. It won't be the first time. But my opinion is strongly that Jalen Warren is not that guy. He is, when I say it that way, he is not the starter on the Steelers, and he's not a championship caliber dynasty player. That's what I mean by it. Caleb Johnson, on the other hand, could be that guy. I believe in that guy. So, yeah, sorry, all you haters on there. Enjoy all your Jalen Warren shares because I would trade him for 2.5. Give me Jack Bash over Jalen Warren. Give me Jaden Higgins over Jalen Warren. I could find a Jalen Warren anywhere I want to look in Dynasty. Who is that PPR running back for this year? Look at me. Now I'm a true hater.
Now you really are. You just embraced it. This was your villain origin moment.
So back to the drawing board. We're taking Caleb Johnson here.
We're going Johnson.
Those. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we kind of have to now. We don't have a choice.
Let's see.
All
What's
right,
your
and
next
we don't
pick?
pick
You
again
don't
until
have
like
any
3-9, and
seconds.
that doesn't. Yeah, we don't pick again until 3-9.
The rest doesn't. Okay, the rest. Hey, Shadur Sanders.
Hey, we got
hey.
Tesla.
Oh,
All right.
Or Harold Fannin.
Yeah, smash. Yeah, Harold Fannin, smash.
All right.
Smash.
So
I have so many
the three
shares
players
of
we
Harold
got
Fannin right
though.
now.
The 3 players we got though, we got Tet McMillan, Jackson Dart, and then Caleb Johnson.
This is worst case scenario, and this is such a good. This is so good. That's a good scenario.
Yeah, I mean, it worked out really great for us. The question is, with those 3 assets, can we truly contend? Not like middle of the road. Can we truly contend?
No, but what that does is it doesn't make us our 26 picks not going to be a top pick in a week draft. So who cares? We have other pick. It still puts us in position now. We're strong at running back to the door. Listen, you got Jackson Dart. You hope that pans out. But if not, you're waiting for that right moment to flip Aaron Jones. You're waiting for that right moment to flip Alvin Kamara. This is still a long-term plan, right?
I'm with you. Yep.
And if Mario and Hampton goes down, guess what? Najee Harris is giving you at least at the minimum 2 seconds. And you could probably, for a desperation attempt, get a late first from a contender for Najee Harris if he's piling up stats there in LA with that offensive line.
We'll see. Hampton being there
not to.
Might make it tough.
I know I said if Hampton gets hurt, like there might be a scenario that opens up. You need Hampton to get hurt. Like Hampton's the guy. Like there's no sorry, Najee. Like it's Najee gonna happen.
Have fun being the feature guy for the first 3 weeks because he's taking over real fast.
3 weeks.
I need to cut in really fast, Garrett. Is that okay? People are talking about that audio is cutting in and out. We had this issue happen a couple shows ago. If you refresh your browser, for some weird reason, it fixes it. It's nothing on our side. It's the YouTube side. So if you're experiencing like audio cutting out every 3 seconds, refresh your browser.
Pete, real quick, can you find our first? Like, where does it reside? Where does it live?
That's what she said. Okay. Oh,
the number 1 team.
That's a funny name, actually.
That's what she said. That's funny. All right. What is the strength on their team? Because they don't have any running backs, do they?
Blake Corum.
They have Blake Corum. They are the number 1 team dynasty-wise, not necessarily contender-wise, but they're the number 1 team dynasty-wise. They're obviously going to be adding some picks, but I am approaching this team with Alvin Kamara and trying to figure out what I can pair with Alvin Kamara to get my 26 first back. Because now, because they have nothing. They have nothing at running back. So that's the move I'm trying to figure out, because this team is going to compete soon. It's got some young quarterbacks, really good young wide receiver core, and Brock Bowers. So this team is not far away from competing. And with those 3 draft picks, they might think they can compete this year. So you give them an Alvin Kamara, and all of a sudden they are a legit contender. So I would heavily be pursuing. Hey, in fact, I'll give you all 3 of my running backs for my 26 first back. You can have Aaron Jones, Najee Harris, and Alvin Kamara. Just give me my pick back.
Yeah, because then your pick's gonna be, if you get rid of all your running backs, you're gonna have a strong case for the 1-1.
Right. I mean, you'll still have Caleb Johnson when you draft him. But that's it. So I would definitely look to do that.
Yeah, it's worth a shot. And that's, I would, if I was that team, I'd accept that. I'd smash accept that with all those picks he has too to come in, because I'm contending right away. And I get Alvin Kamara and Aaron Jones. Sweet.
So what moves would you be doing right now? So his main question though is what moves can I make to put me over the top and contend this year?
There's no moves you're making, unfortunately.
Not even trading those picks away for vets or anything like
why
that.
Would you do that? What?
Well, he wants to contend this year.
Okay, that's
so
okay.
I get it.
If you want to set your team back, go ahead. Like, you have these picks for a reason. Like, if you're listen, if you can get a young proven receiver back, sure. Like, always, like I'd take it over a running back for sure. But like, what are you gonna do? Like,
you still need a second quarterback.
You don't have. Yeah, the problem is, like, what are you going to do? Like, can you get a second quarterback for a pick? Like, now when 1-7's on the board, could you get like Baker Mayfield or so? But like even then, dude, are you really a legit contender if you have Baker Mayfield or Jared Goff? Like no, like take the young play. Like unfortunately, like it's not realistic. I don't think.
And that's the hard part is this type of team is going to keep you getting the 1-4, the 1-6, the 1-7, the 1-5, the 1-4. Like you're going to live in that middle for a long time. And that's just a frustrating place to be. Like I think at this point you do have to really consider ripping off the Band-Aid because I don't think there's enough bullets in the gun to be able to put you over the top. I mean, sure, you could trade everything to get Derrick Henry and Cooper Kupp and Devontae Adams. Like you could give everything to try to do it for 1 year, but then you have a 3+ year rebuild coming. Why risk it?
When those assets he has now are like young assets he's going to get, the Jackson Dart, the Tech McMillan, the Quinn, the Caleb Johnson. Like not only does that help you now, it helps you now to possibly, by the luck of Jesus himself, get you into the championship game. But like you're so thin and you have like your draft capital is not even good enough to get you where you want to go. Really. Yeah. The sacrifice. You need a quarterback too, which is going to cost you probably more than 1.7 unless you get an old guy there. And your receiving core is so thin. And honestly, dude, your receiving core is old outside of Marvin Harrison. Michael Pittman's going to be 28 years old. And I would bet my life they're going to get out from under their contract the moment they can because their quarterback situation is dire. And Mike Evans has one more year left at maybe 2 at most, right? So, like, you're as bad as your quarterback room is looking, your receiving room is going to look just as ugly here soon. And as much as I love Marvin Harrison, and I will say 100%, like, he's going to be really good, that's still not guaranteed. We're not talking like Malik Neighbors, Lad McConkey here, Brian Thomas, right? Like we're talking Marvin Harrison. What if Marv, if you look at the top 12 fantasy producers right now, what if Marv is really, really good receiver, but in Arizona, he can't crack that top 12 because the top 12 is extremely good. I mean, we just mentioned 3 rookies, Brian Thomas, Malik Neighbors, Lad McConkey. You throw Travis Hunter in that mix. Tat McMillan went really high. Then you got the Drake Londons and all these other stud muffins like Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Puka Nakua's. Like, what if Marv can't crack that wide receiver 1 rule? Then what is your team looking like? That would, to me, would be such a drastic mistake to try and go in and compete for a year. And I think this is one of the biggest problems dynasty players have. They see this roster. And again, without the GM here, this is why we have the league analyzer, right? For moments like this. He's like, how do I go in and get that win? The GM in contender mode and dynasty mode are telling you, you are way behind that 8 ball. And I think without a tool like this or situation like this, I think a lot of dynasty managers, Garrett, find themselves in this situation. Like, ooh, I need my quarterback 2 and 1 more receiver. When realistically, that's not the case. And now you have these 3 first-round picks. You end up trading those picks, and then your team's behind you. And you mentioned, you just said it, you're in a 3-year hole, right? Because then you don't have your first next year, so you're not getting any younger there as well. And you're sitting there waiting for 2027. By the time that comes around, because you try to compete next year, all these guys are a year older. So Aaron Jones goes from having some value in season to almost 0 value when he gets supplanted by Jordan Mason. Alvin Kamara's value goes down almost to nothing because he's a 30-year-old running back. And Mike Evans' value goes down almost to nothing because they're going to get rid of him and get out from under that contract because they just drafted Emeka Egbuka in the first round. So what a massive, massive mistake it would be to try and go all in to win this year. It'd be a devastating dynasty move. A little D&D.
Little D&D. All right.
DDM. Devastating dynasty move.
So before we talk real quick about the Mike Evans, Pittman, like what we might move those guys for, Michael Quincell, he has a super chat in there. That's how we're doing our trades now. You don't have to scan the QR code. If you want to ask a trade question, just do a super chat. Just put it in there. We'll answer that and we'll get to you. But if you want your roster rescued, we have openings. I think this, for right now, this is our last one for the show. So this could be the first time we've ever been out in like less than an hour 30. Probably even closer to 2 hours, like for the first time. So if you want to get your rescued, or if you want to just ask a simple trade question, you can do the super chat, or you can scan the QR code. Look, I'm cool with getting done early. It makes my life easy, but I want to make sure we get everything that you guys want. So real quickly, Mike Evans, Michael Pittman, Rich, would you try to see if you could maybe combine those guys together and get yourself a 27 first and then maybe a little more on
No,
top?
because I don't have my first. No. I listen.
Well, no, this is under the assumption that we're making that trade to get our 26 first back.
And what do we? Oh, give all those running backs.
Every running back we have.
Once that goes through, yeah, we're trading these guys for as a combo. But again, I don't think that move is right now. The combo move is now. That'd be an in-season move.
You'll probably have a little bit more value in season or even right before the season if you don't want to risk injury.
Yeah, because if one person's they have one receiver go down, now you're offering Evans and Pittman and they're producing. You're getting their 27 first. Not you don't want their 26. You want their 27 first and their second. You know what I mean?
Yep, that's what I'm looking for.
Right now, if you try to do that now, you might be able to get 27 first. Probably for a team that needs help, they probably be able to do that now. But in season, you'll get a little bit more. Do you risk the chance of injury? Sure, but everybody's a risk for injury, so you can't worry about that. That's an in-season move. But if you get your 26 first back, 100%, that's the next step is getting those guys off my roster as well.
Absolutely. All right, let's go to my guy Michael. He says in an FFPC league, this is Superflex BBB. What does BBB mean? Superflex. Best ball?
Best ball.
Best body ball.
Best ball bunkers. Start 10. I have 1-3, 1-11, 1-12, and 3-1 to help contend. I need a second quarterback. I have Daniels, also running back and wide receiver depth. Should I take Ward or Tet at 3? I think this, like, if you need a second quarterback, and I already have Ward in the tier above Tet, I think it's pretty easy. You stick with Ward there, right?
Yeah, 100%. That's an easy pick. Yeah, you have an opportunity to get the quarterback just won one NFL draft. Where two running backs are going to go ahead of him for the most part. If he's there, yeah, I'm taking Cam Ward. Best basketball.
There you go. I think that's what I'm doing as well. And I wouldn't be opposed if you're all in. Like, let's say Tet's your guy. And you're like, I want Tet McMillan no matter what. You have the sticky note you stuck in your pocket like draft day, and he's your guy. Like, okay, you have 11 and 12. Trade up to 1-6 and take Tet McMillan. But I am not necessarily taking a lower tier player just because I like them. I got to make sure the value's there. The value's there for Ward. Plus, it matches your need. So it's a home run taking Ward there.
Yeah, I think so too. And then in 111, 112, you're going to add. You're going to add to your running back depth. Again, I mean, you can probably get Caleb Johnson and RJ Harvey there, for the most part. And then you flip those for somebody who's a proven Tet McMillan, right? Like you take best player available and then you trade for proven commodities. That's what you do. So you take Cam Ward at 1-3, 111, 112, you're taking best player. And like I said, you want to contend, those young running backs, again, will be your best trade asset in season, right? Because you're looking for not every rookie that you draft, like especially not like an Emeka Ibuka, right? Or maybe not even a Tet McMillan is likely to give you high-end production. You're gambling on their upside in youth for trade value. Where the 111, 112, if one of those, like, and all you need is one of those guys to hit, right? Say it's RJ Harvey or Caleb Johnson. For you, it's Cam Scottaboo. One of those guys hits, you're getting a proven guy. And on top of that, if one of those guys hits at a high level, you might be able to then take Cam Ward and one of those running backs now, because like somebody who's not as much contending, hey, I can get Cam Ward. He looks okay. He's a 1-1, and get like a Justin Herbert, get like a really good quarterback, a high-end quarterback. Maybe you could take one of those running backs and something and get Brock Purdy. Again, when he signs that $50 million a year extension, I think that's going to go out the window. But like, same thing. If I can Cam Ward and somehow I could flip like 111, and if I'm a contender, if I can flip 111 my first next year for like Brock Purdy, like I would do that too, in that range. Because I think there's gonna be some really good players available at 111, 112 to open those doors. And as a contender, you should 100% like be thinking about moving your first next year too. So you keep 1-3, you take Cam Ward. 111, 112, you immediately, like 119 starts on the board. Hey guys, I'm willing to trade 111 and 112, or 111 preferably, and my first next year, because I'd want to try and keep 112 if I could. But for another quarterback, that gives you as a contender, you don't have to rely on Cam Ward. It gives you a proven quarterback, and then you have your third quarterback. So now you just went from a extremely shallow quarterback room to a deep quarterback room. At least was upside, because Jaden Daniels honestly is like 1.5 quarterbacks. And listen, another strong argument here, Garrett, as well, is like, remember, with 111, 112, say you take RJ Harvey and Caleb Johnson, they do really well. The biggest misconception people have is like, you don't have to start a quarterback in your second quarterback spot. Like, usually you do, but worst case, you can get something else in there and get going.
Absolutely. All right. Pete, do we have any more roster rescues? Because if not, we might just end early today, folks. Do we want to give the like a 3-minute warning or something like that?
Yeah, I put in the chat to let me know. Just drop a line if you are submitting one right now, because we don't want to.
Or you could do a super chat for a trade as well.
I'll do this show once a week if I have to.
But yeah, I think if we don't get one in the next 3 minutes, let's just
let me check.
Take a nap.
Let me check my inbox, because I'm in so many drafts. Have any trades that popped up? Probably not.
We have some trade questions.
As I'm just scrolling, these are all my rookie drafts that I'm going on just on Sleeper.
I'm jealous. You have so many more that have started than mine. I only have like 6 that have started.
Oh, I have some that are done.
You have some that are done.
Did you know that you haven't paid yet in the Invitational, Garrett?
None of us have yet.
Yeah, you want to know why? Because Dynasty Nerds pays for that, Peter.
Yeah,
it's not individual. It's one.
I already paid and got refunded for that.
Oh, there you go. Perfect.
Look at this guy. Do you know I haven't paid either?
I want that rookie draft to start. I have so many picks.
We're not waiting on any Dynasty Nerds players to pay. We're just waiting for the other analysts to pay.
I think everyone else is done.
We're waiting on one. I talked to Jared about it literally right before this.
Does his name begin with a B?
Birkenstocks.
I'm blanking on who it is. No. Yeah, it does. It does. First name starts with a B.
Yeah.
First name starts with a B.
Yeah. Least communicative person in the league.
But a great guy.
Oh yeah, not disparaging. I'm just saying, if I had to guess, that's who I would have guessed it was.
Yep.
To be fair, he's super busy around draft time.
Yeah, he's kind of a big deal. We've got some pretty big names in there.
Some good names in there. If you like names.
All right.
Okay.
Like Rich.
Also, you're on the clock in the Nerds League, Garrett.
Yes. That 4-1's about to get dominated.
Ooh.
5-1. I don't remember what pick it is.
I've been happy. You guys, are you happy with the? I've been really happy with rookie. My number one. I said I got a lot of Harold Fannin. I got a decent amount of Quinshon Junkins. I'm trying to think who else I got. I got a couple of Travis Hunter shares, which I'm glad of. I got in one league, I got Travis Hunter at 1.6, and I got Quinshon Junkins at 1.8, and I'm extremely ecstatic about like that. I love those ones.
I only like I said, I think I only have like 5 or 6 drafts that have started, and like 3 of them I'm like a legit contender. So I haven't like got to make any picks because I traded those picks to contend and whatnot. So I've made like 5 picks total so far this year. Like maybe a little more than that, 6 or 7, but it's not been many. So I haven't gotten to get the rookie fever yet. But it's coming. It is coming for sure.
A lot of chalk.
All right.
Like a lot of it's chalk. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's kind of like we talked about beforehand. Like, it's gonna be very tier based, right? Like, I got Amario and I took Quinshon Junkins over Ted, or I took Ted over Quinshon. Like, they're all it's tier based this year. It's like I don't have a lot of arguments this year. Like, I can't believe you reached for the receiver, which is good, because like most years you're like, like how we talk about the one player's roster rescue. It's like, dude, you got to take best player available. And this year, like, you have options. Like, so if you really need a receiver, it's not like, oh, dude, I really need a receiver, but clearly Quinshon Junkins is the best running back here. No, like, I can take Ted McMillan, right? Like, oh my goodness, Travis Hunter's there. Erection time.
All right, Pete. Any roster rescues, or are we good?
Nope, we're good to go.
See you Monday.
Appreciate you guys. We will be back on Monday, and we can maybe we'll do some draft grades that day. Maybe people can show us some of their drafts, and we'll grade them or something. That could be fun. We'll see. We'll see you guys